Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever for a Step-Stool Laddercast, where today we're going to be looking at some low-level ladder play on the map Regger 6 Highlands. Yes, that's a 6. I was about to say VI because I am an intellectual. But before we get into introducing our players with the red player at the top and the blue player at the bottom, please consider going down below and clicking those buttons. I get very sad when nobody is clicking buttons. Hit that subscribe button, hit like, dislike if you're not liking the content, join, super thanks, the bell. They're all beautiful buttons and you should be clicking them like the beautiful people you are. Now, without a further ado, let's get into introducing our players, starting with the red UEF going first, land by the name of WINSTON19xx. And then we can move on to the southern side of the map where we have ourselves a blue UEF going first, land. His name is Juicy. And we have a UEF v UEF mirror matchup. Let's go ahead and zoom out and look at the map itself. 6,296 mass for these players to reclaim. That's not that much, but maybe at this level it will have a profound effect. Maybe one player understands reclaim and the other one doesn't. It's gonna be a relatively long game, so make sure you grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink, and let's enjoy the time together. You all are all so beautiful, and I cannot really handle it at the moment. We do have some civilian structures up here on both of these cliffs. They feature an anti-air, a couple of PD, some civilian structures, a radar, and a power generator. So this is going to be a little bit of an issue, maybe a stumbling block for the players. Maybe they drop, or I don't know. Can you walk up here? That is suspect. It is a maybe on walking up there. I've seen engineers walk up some steep cliffs. So maybe you can walk up here, but either way, it's going to be a bit of a stumbling block. If they just drop right on top of the mass extractors, they could risk losing those oh-so-precious expanding engineers. And of course, we also have these kind of little plateaus behind the base. They only have one mech. There's multiple kind of plateaus with one mech. So these players are going to have to figure out how they want to approach it. We already have a little bit of early aggression coming out from the red UEF in the north, Winston, as he is currently got his mech marine on, and he is making his way towards the other side of the map, I would assume, or maybe he's just moving over here to this kind of 3 mechs area that we have to the east. Either way, interesting to see the early aggression coming out. I meant to hit different keys and didn't. But yeah, as we settle in for the early game, these players, lower rated in general, they're going to be a bit slower at things. It's going to be a little bit easier to follow what's going on. It's going to be a very fun time. So why don't you go down in the comments right now, since you probably have time to, and tell me how your day is going. Tell me what you think. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, if that subscribe button is red, you should click it. It turns gray. Gray is just overall a better color than red. And overall, it makes me a very happy camper whenever I see more and more people joining the channel every single day. I appreciate the support. So, what are the ratings and what is Step-Stool Ladder? I mentioned it's low rated. Low rated is anything below 1,000 rating. If you ain't got 4 digits, you are gonna be in this series, if that's all that's in the game. And of course, these players are 390 rating and 271 rating respectively. A little bit of an edge going to Juicy, a bit over 100 points of rating going to him, but it is of course gonna be anybody's game. Winston really coming out strong. He is expanding much faster than the opposition. He's already got so many mechs online. He's nearly doubling the eco of Juicy just by expanding a little bit better. He has units already on the field ready to go out and deal some damage. It's gonna be a fun one as we can now go ahead and track this bomber that's coming in. It's been given an attack move, or yeah, it's going for a T1 mechs. That is gonna be very, very interesting, as I think I saw some mobile anti-air. Maybe I was wrong, but if there is a mobile anti-air, it can respond to this. The mech's going to go down to combined fire from Mech Marines and, of course, the Scorcher Bomber here. Mech Marine's going to pick up the kill on the engineer that built it. And, of course, everything going to plan. It does seem as though this bomber's going to keep dropping. Going to get rid of the reclaim on that. I don't know if that was the plan. Maybe he did the wrong attack move, because it might just continue to perpetually drop bombs right here. And if it does, that's a little bit awkward for Winston. And I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Here we go. We do have some minor expansion coming out now for Juicy. Juicy just needs to probably keep on the train of that, really getting rid of that reclaim, having some struggles with his T1 bomber. I'm sure that there's going to be a response to that relatively soon. There is T1AA in the base of Juicy. Juicy really embodying that UEF spirit of, I'm going to go T2 and I'm going to sit in my base and you're not going to attack me because I got more PD than you. I calling it now. This base is gonna look really, really satisfying to the eye, but it's gonna be very inefficient because there will be a lot of point defense. That's my call as of the moment. Now over here to the north, Winston, he is doing a bold move at this level. He is sending his ACU out to the middle of the map. What insane plays could we have waiting for us here in the near future is the question, as he could do any number of things. And wow, that is a lot of scouting, I think, coming out from Juicy. No, that is just, yeah, it's a T1 scout, but that's not gonna go particularly well. Now over here at the front lines of Juicy's base, he is now under siege. How will the man with T2 respond? Well, his response is to build a T2 power generator when I don't think he needed it. He didn't need the T2 power generator yet, but damn it, we're gonna have it. Oh, he needs it for the T2 radar he's running, I guess. And the strikers make it into the base. Sorry for the lack of commentary there for a second. I had to cough. As now that Winston's in the base, it's starting to look a little bit dire. You can see these strikers coming in. They're going to be able to kill off maybe this hydrocarbon, which would be huge, or just kill off engineers and units. Killing off those engineers means there's going to be less and less build power, although a much less big issue whenever you have T2 on the comm. T1 PD thrown up very, very quickly for Juicy. Juicy just going to start blapping away at these strikers with his comm. The hydro under threat of death. The T2 radar already dead. And that engineer right there is living on life support, having a very, very bad time. 6 HP is not much to go on. This hydro may die to this singular striker just sitting over here as 1 rank of veterancy, getting that 1 health a second. But no, he's going to get a little bit too close and he's going to get killed off with the hydro at 24 HP. That was 2 or 3 tank shots away. It's going to survive. That hydro is thanking its lucky stars, as the map is now starting to look very, very red. Up here to the northeast, there was an attempt at expansion out from Juicy, but it's just going to be shut down by a handful of units. Over here to the west, we still have an expansion out for Juicy, but the comm is making its way towards that, and there's plenty of units around. And right now, Winston just playing a better early game. Already has some T2 mexes, and he just has more units across the field. He has more factories. He has more. And that is a very important thing to point out, because something I really enjoy to tell everybody is more shit counters less shit. And right now, Winston has more shit. As over here to the east, the final vestige of this expansion effort out from Juicy is taken away from him. And that might just provoke him into believing that expansion is scary, and it is time to build himself nothing but PD for the foreseeable future. He is going to cap these mexes. By golly, by whatever lord you worship, whatever god you're into, this man is going to have efficient mexes at the T1 phase. That T2 mex going up relatively slowly, but we have Juicy here. He is a man of conviction. He believes in things, and he is believing in his ability to just sit on 4 mexes and win the game. Gonna have to see how that strategy works out for him, as currently Winston's sitting on less reclaim, surprisingly. He's not really doing much of the natural reclaim thing, and a lot of the units thrown into the base have been reclaimed now by Winston. But he is sitting on nearly, no, he's nearly still double the mass economy of Juicy. Winston sitting in a very pretty position economically. He has managed to drop up here, and he's starting to build some artillery. So I'm sure he's going to be happy to grab up these 3 mexes on that plateau. Over here to the southwest, we have a imminent problem now for Juicy. He has got the T2 mechs in the base, he's got some mass storage, he's getting more T2 mechs, but he's gonna lose the only 3 mechs that are not part of his core mass right now, and that is gonna be a bit painful as his economy has been absolutely stifled by this aggression coming out from Winston. Winston playing a banger of a game so far, just really getting out on the map, being aggressive, things we like to see, and things you should be trying to do if you're a lower rated player. You can see right here at this given moment, Winston is in a position that looks unlosable. He is in a position of pure victory. Gonna have to see how he handles closing out the game. It's hard to siege a UEF base with a T2 comm that is committed to holding it, but maybe Winston will surprise us. Maybe he'll get in here and deal some critical damage to the blue UEF that is known as Juicy. As the map is slowly turning into the communist dream, it's red everywhere. Stalin would be proud as we make our way to the 10-minute marker and actually passed it to the 11-minute mark. And Juicy has about as much territory as Luxembourg right now. And he is surrounded by very, very painful death on all sides. He's getting enveloped with absolute prejudice from Winston. And it's gonna be getting a little bit dicey here soon. He needs to start producing some units. He's gonna start producing a bit more of a fire base on his main base. And I told you, it was gonna be aesthetically pleasing. Look, he's spaced out everything. Everything's perfectly adjacent. It's all in little squares. The only blemish on his base is this little PD area, but even that he managed to make look good. He even has the adjacency for the radar here, which I'm sure will go T2 at some point, unless he just forgot after the first one died. And he's gonna have some vision. He's sending out Lobos, which is a staring move. He still has this mechs. Oh man, he still has this mechs. He's gonna keep that mechs most of the game, if not all of it. That's another prediction coming out from me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I like to call my shots like Babe Ruth. As over here to the east, a singular tank's trying to stop this expansion. Unfortunately, without micro, this tank almost assuredly dies to the first Lobo. Once it gets vision, it's just gonna fire 2 shots before it dies, and that tank's gonna be dead. Yep, there we go. First Lobo, and the tank should theoretically be dead. Oh, it's at 2 ranks of veterancy, so it gets 2 health a second. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. That is a dead tank. These Lobos just trying to gain some territory back for Juicy. He's trying to siege up here to the northeast, trying to get more territory. He is, of course, he knows of the concept of map control. He understands that there's an entire map out there. He's just, he really likes his part of the map, and he's gonna slowly try and expand that now. As up here to the northeast, wait, this is a T2 max, and this one's going T2. Oh no, if these Lobos are just allowed to get in here and start killing this off, it's gonna be horrible. He's gonna lose eco to upgraded mexes. I can't speak apparently, he's gonna lose them. Oh no, don't do this to me. Winston, why'd you upgrade these mexes? You have so many other beautiful mexes you could have upgraded. Although, I think even losing those mexes will not hurt him too much. He's still massively ahead economically, and he's at T2 land, and he is committing a sin right now. Everybody, come to the Church of Willow. Stop building mongoose if you're not gonna micro mongoose. Because I guarantee you, these mongoose just once more unto the breach, run straight into the base, straight into the triads, and die. I guarantee you that's what's gonna happen within the next couple of minutes. He's not even building any pillars. This is just irredeemably a mistake. Although, if you're gonna make a mistake, you may as well make it while making twice the economy of your opponent, and they're still gonna kill T1 units just fine. It's just, they're also gonna die to T1 units just fine. They don't have a lot of HP. They have triple the health of a Lobo, and let's see, what's the cost difference? 3 times the health of a Lobo, or we could even use a Striker. Striker, how much HP do you have? Striker, how much HP do you have? 300. So it has pretty much double the health of a striker. It's 200 mass, a striker is 56. It's slightly more, but you get my point. And yeah, that's not a good HP to mass ratio there. It has a great damage to mass ratio, as we have a huge wave of units, and they're shift G'd. Oh my gosh. It's a harp. It's a piano of unit move commands. And they're coming in towards the base. They're gonna be making their way in single file as God intended. And they're gonna be making their way into the very, very well defended base of Juicy. Juicy showing up here with the comm. He's starting to reclaim the units. Oh, Juicy doing the big brain plays. He's just gonna reclaim the units. He knows that this is faster DPS. He's really quickly getting rid of the strikers in the front. The Mongis in the back just died of basically anything. It doesn't matter. They were not worth the value. These would have been much better as strikers, although with T2 reclaim, strikers even die quickly. And now Winston walking up. He has that gun damage and range upgrade. He's going to start firing into this shield, but he's going to take a lot of damage. There's plenty of Lobos around, so if he stops moving for a little bit, he's going to take tons of damage. He's also going to be under fire of Triads, and Triads are very, very dangerous in a game like this, where players maybe don't pay the most attention to their comm. And Winston already down to half HP and falling fast. He's at 4,000 HP, 3,900 HP. He's still taking a ton of damage. He needs to start moving back. He's in danger of dying. If the Triads focus on him, he could be dead momentarily. The reclaim orders out from Juicy are on point. He is still reclaiming these tanks as they come in single file, and that's actually going to give him a ton of reclaim, 7,000 reclaim. It's going to boost his economy to build more tanks behind this. And that is going to be a very big blunder of an assault coming out from Winston, and they're still just coming in. He's still going to be able to get up all of this reclaim. He has an engineer already on the front lines reclaiming everything that has died. And Juicy, the stalwart defender, holds. Also, we weren't looking at it, but up here he managed to kill off those T2 mexes, which is going to be a huge W in the book of the blue UEF. As back here to the southwest, he's managed to even get a transport out, or maybe he just cliff built this this factory, because he doesn't have an air factory. He cliff built an air factory and managed to get set up over here. Over here to the northeast, the point defense are still alive, and the Lobos are not able to come down the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Okay. ADD will be happening today. Can you pay attention to anything or any place? No, you can't today. All right. Oh, man. So, we are at an impasse. It seems Winston has realized that pushing into this turtle base is a little bit too much for him. Is he gonna change up his strategy? Is he gonna come up with a new plan? Or what is gonna go on with the red UEF? He's gonna go for T3 land. He says if T2 couldn't do it, T3 damn well will, and I'm gonna build Titans. So that is the strategy coming out from Winston. Can he afford it? Oh yes, he's got mass for days, baby. Juicy, on the other hand, spending his mass quite well, admittedly, and he's caught up economically. I mean, caught up is a loose terminology here, but he's only 10 mass behind instead of 40 per second, and that is gonna be significant. He has a decent number of Lobos and some anti-air up here now showing up to try and attack this expansion, and he's just starting to claw his way back into this game. He's starting to make his presence known, which before this, if he didn't go to the southern side of the map, you wouldn't even know he's here. As currently Winston's trying to rush his way to that Titan tech. He has a T3 capped mechs already, which is interesting call whenever you have so many T1 mechs still on the field, but hey, that economy is very well protected in the back of the base. We do have a T3 mechs now finished up for Juicy on this plateau in the back. He's just gonna keep his eco as safe as he possibly can. And here in the middle, there's a bit of an engagement going on. This force up here to the north managing to kill off that expansion just with a quick run by And that's going to be a T2 mech going down. That's going to be a factory going down. That's going to be a lot of pain and suffering for Winston, who is just oblivious to this attack. He could deal with it. I mean, these strikers, as long as they move, they kill off all the Lobos here. You just keep them moving. Yep, keep on swimming, keep on swimming, keep on swimming. Yeah, these Lobos getting more damage than they ever had any right to, and there's still more of them coming around this kind of flanking path. Oh my... What? Oh, okay. It's a patrol. They're just patrolling the entire map. That is, interesting, to say the least, and I respect it. We have T3 finished up. We have a bunch of T3 engineers now out onto the field, and now we have Titans starting to be produced. Are these engineers just going to assist? All of them are going to assist in building Titans. These Titans are going to be thrown up in seconds. The Lobos getting in behind the force, behind the comm of Winston. And now a ton of T1 units now pouring out from just these 3 factories. What's the reasoning for that? We have kennels! We have kennels online, and we have heavy assistance on these factories. Juicy, he knows what he wants, and what he wants is Lobos, AA, and Scouts. And he has committed to it. Very interesting plays coming out from Juicy. Winston playing a bit more standard, but he's gone for T3 land relatively early for this level of play. We're 20 minutes in, we got T3 land, we got Titans out on the field. Are the Titans gonna be enough to break this formidable fire base coming out from Juicy, the United Earth Federation blue player? I was trying to get more alliteration with F there. It just didn't work. I know. You can go down in the comments and say how horrible I am at casting. Thank you very much. As over here to the west, there's some Lobos starting to fire at this expansion now. They're going to be getting some damage done. And one of the mechs goes down. Maybe even get a second mech if the RNG is happy enough with it. Does kill off a tank, and there's more Lobos about to show up to this area. They're going to be able to just show up and take down maybe this mech and that striker and really just start to seal the deal for this expansion here. Although on the front lines, Winston is currently, he's really setting himself up for success. He's got some Titans on the field. He's building up more. If he builds up a large core of Titans, it will be very hard for this fire base to survive. Maybe, I'm thinking 30, 40 Titans. If you get that many, you run into this fire base, it'll be very difficult for Juicy to hold on. Let's see what the man has in store for this attack that is brewing on his doorstep. Does he know about the Titans? He does. He can see one of the Titans. Does he care? Is a much more relevant question. T1 bomber out here has got a kill. Could just bomb all these strikers if it feels like it. Is it being microed? No, it's just, yeah, it's just going for that factory. The Titans starting to walk forward, starting to clean up all this T1. If there's one thing Titans are known for, it's their capability to just absolutely dismantle T1 forces, and that's all that Juicy has to show for himself. So this base now under heavy pressure, probably wants to group up the Titans a little bit. A lot of T1 PD now going up, and the Titans run in headlong. They outrange T1 PD. If this was an attack move, this would be beautiful, but they're walking into lines of T1 PD, and the PD is just annihilating the Titans. They're walking into their own graves. Oh no, somebody call an ambulance, but not for me, says Juicy, as he completely disassembles that Titan force in a matter of seconds, and it's just gonna leave a ton of reclaim on his doorstep. 3,000. The man has been doing very well with reclaim so far this game, up to 11,000 reclaim. And as we crest the 23-minute mark, we are still no closer to finding a victor. It feels like Winston's been playing very well. It feels like he should be taking the W. He has the units, he has everything built up. He just hasn't discovered that spearheads or flapjacks exist. Or maybe he hasn't discovered that demolishers exist too, as he is in a rough position now here on front lines. He's now behind economically. He has units. He's starting to produce demolishers. Maybe if he had those a little bit earlier, it would have been significant. But now it's starting to feel like if he does attack, it'll just be artillery central for Juicy. I'm sure he knows what T2 artillery can do with the way he's playing right now. He is very familiar with every structure the UEF currently possesses. I say currently because there's always a chance that we get an update that adds things. We did get the anti-air update that added T3 anti-air. I mean, the FAF creator, the sky is the limit, man. You could update this game. You could add more content. Do it for me. They won't, but still. As over here to the east, artillery firing onto Titans, which are unmicroed, so these Titans just gonna be taking damage until they're told to move. Yeah, that's, whoa! Something strolled into range and immediately got absolutely ass blasted, but, somebody in the comments is gonna be like, did he just say ass blasted? I was watching this Willow cast and he said ass blasted, and that it rubbed me wrong. I'm unsubscribing. Fucking ass blasting motherfucker. Get out of here with your cringy ass bullshit. And the Titans given the move order, and they're gonna continue to ass blast everything in sight. Gotta stop saying it now. As the Lobos are dying left and right, the UEFs are crying anywhere they're in sight, and the Scorchers are flying, dropping their payloads with delight. I'm not a rapper. Check me on SoundCloud. Oh man, I'm having too much fun with this. You shouldn't be allowed to have this much fun with making a YouTube video. You're supposed to be miserable, aren't you? As the Demolishers stroll into range, gonna be able to fire on a decent little bit here. Maybe they can find the courage to just get up on this cliff line, start really hammering their point home into the main base. Although, with how the Scorcher game is going, we're going to need a little bit more anti-air here on the front. And it does seem as though Winston's realized that. He's starting to build his own flak. He's flak creeping, which is something you don't get to say very often, but it's very fun to say. Flak creep. The double K sound there. Flak creep. Flak creep! Sounds like a sitcom or something. This week on Flak Creek. Flak Creek? Oh, what am I saying? Flak creep. This mobile artillery, it's gonna get shot at by T1 mobile already, but it was within range of the main base. This one as well, so may start seeing some siege damage coming in. We're gonna need a little bit more effort coming out from Winston to actually protect his units. He's really been throwing them in to the meat grinder that is Juicy. Juicy is a unit juicer, if you would. And he's really just taken over this eastern side of the map. The constant Lobo pressure coming out from Juicy is admirable, but what is this man's strategy? He's up to T3 on the comm. He's getting RAS on the comm for good measure. He's just trying to make things happen. T2 air online now for Winston. He has Percivals coming out onto the field. He has Titans on the field already, starting to shoot some things down. A Demolisher about to take a lot of damage from, now that's a lot of damage. Fucking, what's his name? Is it Phil Scott who does the Flex Tape ads? I feel like that's the name that I associate with Flex Tape. Today, we're gonna cut this boat in half and put it back together with Flex Tape. He's just a gift. He could sell anything. He knows the product. Can you all tell I've been looking at those as seen on TV ads? I've been looking at them. I find them so funny. They're quite great. As down here to the south, to the base, of Juicy. We don't have all that much going on. He's starting to get siege. Spearheads are showing up. Earlier I said he doesn't know what spearheads, flapjacks, or demolishers was. How wrong was I? He's realized that siege. This is like Rainbow Six, and we're up in this bitch trying to do a tactical takedown on the blue UEF to the south. Rocking up with shotguns and shit. Putting breaching charges on the walls. Actually, can you do that? Isn't there like a I haven't played Rainbow Six Siege in so long, I shouldn't talk about it. I did love that game for a bit. Alright. So, we have a battery of T2 artillery now coming online. I told you, this man knows what this is. You've watched the other 20-something minutes of this game, 27 minutes of this game. You know that he knows what T2 artillery is. And he's gonna spam it the second he starts feeling pressured by anything longer range than a triad. Or maybe a Ravager. And now with some Percivals on the field, is that Percival still alive? There's one right there. I don't know what happened to the... Nope, there he is. That's the first Percival getting shot at by T2 artillery. The situation starting to look a little bit better for Winston than it was a second ago. He's starting to clean up this area to the east. He's starting to get more consolidation of T3 units. But Juicy is just sitting back. He has a plan, a strategy. The strategy may not involve ever crossing the entire map to attack the enemy base, but it does involve building buildings. Building buildings here, as the engineer from TF2 once famously said, and says many times every time you play the game. And right now, Juicy the engineer, it looked like the early game he was just throwing, but now he's managed to get the ball into his court. He's really running this game despite having zero map control pretty much. He is in the lead, and he is the one to look at. He is the one who needs to find a way to break out from his corner, to get out of his isolation. I know with COVID-19, we were all told to stay indoors and to socially isolate. Juicy has taken that to heart, and he has formed it into his Forged Alliance Forever gameplay. He is staying home, and he is fighting off all of these people going to concerts with vengeful levels of firepower as Ravengers now on the field. Did I say Ravager? There's no N in there. Ravager. Say it properly. I don't have some weird accent. I'm just from the south. I'm from the south. Where are we? Oh, that was my phone going off. I need to fix that. How do I fix it? Oh no. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna fix it by turning it off. There we go. That's how you fix your phone's notifications. Just turn the fucker off. As we creep through the 30-minute mark, it's been kind of a stagnant game. And you know what? Just because of that, I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. We're going to wait until something spicy goes on. Maybe the next big attack out from Winston. He's really struggling to keep his Titans alive. He keeps on sending them in kind of piecemeal, one or two at a time. Neither side really confident or sure of a way to stop this. It seems Winston is just taking a page out of the book of Juicy. He's like, alright, well, if I can't break your fire base, I don't think you can break mine. And that's some good thinking. That's some big brain, think-thonk, wrinkle brain stuff right there, Winston. And he's adapting throughout this game. He started trying to build siege stuff. That didn't work. Well, his opponent is building a bunch of, he's building a whole bunch of these, these structures. Maybe I should just try and build them myself. And so far that's working. He's starting to try and build up some defenses up here, reclaim this area for himself. T3 now done for Winston. Do we have anything going on? We have a fat boy on the way. Winston is really he's throwing everything at the wall. He's tried all of the units except for maybe the air ones. He does have T3 air. And none of them have worked. We've tried nothing and it's not worked. What do we do? He's really tried to make land work, but it's starting to look like he's adapting. He's going to go for experimentals. He has a strat bomber in the air. That's going to be almost assuredly, yeah, that's just shot down. And Juicy now behind economically. He's not able to keep up with the map control. When you both have full T3 mechs, full T3 and T2 mexes, but one player has like 20 more. The player with 20 more just does better. Yet again, more shit counters less shit generally, but Juicy is making an argument for quality over quantity at the moment. As he's just like, well, T2 artillery is good. I know it's good. Let's just use it. He's going to T2 artillery creep across the map. That's another shot I'm going to call. He will T2 artillery creep until he is in the base of Winston or until the T2 artillery gets a lucky kill on the comm. As this fat boy is starting to roll up to the front lines, gonna need to keep an eye on it. There is so many things that can go wrong here. There's already so much T2 artillery. He's gonna need basically some T3 and T2 shields on top of the fat boy to give it time to chew through this base. If he just tries to send it in, it's not gonna go well for him. He has all these units over here on the eastern side. Juicy is sitting on how much T2 artillery? 13 and counting. He's building T3 pigeons and ringing them with T2 artillery. That is a baller move. That's like putting spinning rims on a gold jet ski, as Bo Burnham once famously said. At least, I don't know if that's famous. People quote Bo Burnham a lot, like they quote him from different things. I don't think anybody quotes the spinning rims on the gold jet ski thing nearly as much as I do in my day-to-day life. I don't do it in casts very often. I try not to quote people as much, but now that I think about it, yeah, it's kind of funny, so maybe I'll keep doing it. Titan dying to Lobos, something that has happened surprisingly often this game. The power stall right now, though, for Winston is really brutal. He's building a T3 power, and he's building a nuke launcher! Oh, Winston's adapting. He has realized that the key to winning long, drawn-out games in 1v1 at low-rated level is that standoff technology. We have 2 air HQs for Juicy, because you can never be too safe. One at T2, one at T3. We have broadswords now starting to be produced. The fat boy, its shield may come online momentarily. This T3 pigeon really needs to finish, though. It's really affecting the capabilities of this fighting force. A moonwalking fat boy. Winston really struggling to spend mass right now, although I guess that might just be due to the fact that he doesn't have power at the moment. Once he has power, he'll maybe be able to use it. Juicy, on the other hand, he's struggling to have any mass to spend. He has so much mass is going into T2 artillery. This is just ridiculous. He doesn't know which of these units is the fat boy. He has to know there's a fat boy, but he doesn't know which one is the fat boy. Fat boy could come in here and just start really wreaking some havoc onto these artillery. Maybe if you built a stealth generator with these T2 engineers, that would be a big brain heads-up play. Juicy just doesn't know which unit is the fat boy. I mean, you can make a guess. You should know this is the fat boy. His base now under heavy assault, and if the T3 pigeons go down, so do the artillery. So that's the issue. You're getting a little bit more efficiency, a little bit faster firing out from those artillery, but you're under threat of losing everything. Does Winston have proper scouting? No, he doesn't. He doesn't know what's here. He's gonna have struggles getting any meaningful damage done because he hasn't scouted properly either. The artillery is firing back. He needs to start running away with that fat boy, and he does. But will he have enough time to get away from the onslaught that is this T2 artillery barrage? And the answer is no, as the shots fly in and fly true. The fat boy goes down. That's going to be a lot of reclaim, and it's almost assuredly going to go to Winston if he wants it. Maybe not with the artillery, like killing off all the engineers, but you just have to build a stealth gen, and then you're fine. So, the game has progressed. We've gotten an experimental, and that experimental is now dead. We have a nuke launcher, and that nuke launcher is absolutely going to be a game changer. Do we have an anti-nuke? I do not know. Yes, we do. We have a nuke eliminator right there in the base of Juicy. Although it's not loaded yet, and Juicy has been in such a tremendous mass stall that maybe it won't get loaded anytime soon. Although it's scouted, so maybe Winston just won't decide to nuke it. I guess he may decide to nuke over here, though. Quantum Gateway going on up over here for Juicy. And Winston falls back. He can't hold on to this position anymore. There's too much artillery. And how much artillery is too much? This Yep, 20 artillery in one area, that's a fuck you amount of artillery. That's enough to fight, like, battleships and shit. Like, sure, I'm sure Navy could actually deal with it, but that is scary. As the broadswords over here to the west, just starting to take down some of this economy, some of this expansion. Sure, they're going to get shot down by these ASF, but they're going to get all of the things they wanted. They got all the mexes, almost assuredly. So yeah, that's just Winston losing ground. He's now down below the economy of Juicy. Juicy yet again in the lead of the game economically. He has just proven himself to be a unmovable object. And Winston, not quite the unstoppable force that he may have seemed to be in the beginning of the game. Seems a bit stumped. Seems like he doesn't know what he wants to do. I mean, like, he's going for the nuke launcher. He's going for a quantum gateway. He's just going to eco up. Maybe we'll see more standoff technology from him, as Juicy really not opting into the standoff technology just yet. Here in the middle, Continental, or no, a T2 transport going to drop onto that fat boy. Does he have the reclaim order just yet? Or is this just going to get shot at by a bunch of T2 artillery and be dead in a second? It is definitely looking like the latter, not the former. Yep, this area is, there is a large area of just don't go there. Oh, wait, is that? What's that the range of? I guess that's the UEF commander if you get tactical missile. Okay, interesting enough. Yeah, this area is just a don't go there area. Although, I think he lost his radar, or he doesn't have a good enough radar to see everything. No, there was just 3 Titans there. Okay. I was like, there should be more than 3 Titans there. This is the band I thought it was. This band of like 20 Titans right there. And Winston really just... It seems like he's stumped, so he's just gone back to his base. He's like, alright, you can play this game. I can sit in my base and I can eco and do weird things. I can play weird strategies. He has these SAMs in the middle which are going to kill broadswords. Broadswords are eventually going to kill the SAMs, but not nearly as quickly as maybe Winston would have, or Juicy would have liked. Juicy still denying this entire area up here to the northeast. Apparently the fire bases just weren't enough that were attempted to be built by by Winston. Winston now has this area. He could upgrade these mexes, and it does look as though he's... nope, that was just a weird graphical thing. It looked like one of those was upgrading, but it wasn't, at least to me, at a glance. And the artillery. How much veterancy does the first set of artillery have? Let's see. Okay, let's look at the forward artillery. 3 ranks of vet on that one. That's the highest so far. 2 ranks of vet. What about the artillery over here? Any of them? No, this one has 1 rank of veterancy. The artillery has definitely not paid itself off, but it's definitely become a situation of, well, I don't want to touch that base with a 300-foot pole. Tactical missile? Tactical nuke! We have Billy! Winston is becoming Billy! Everybody look, it's a beautiful thing happening right here. Billy is coming online, and he is gonna show up with a nuclear hellfire that is just absolutely beautiful to see. All right, we'll wait for the cocoon to come out of its butterfly. The Billy cocoon making the Billy butterfly. The Billy butterfly. Oh, yes. I will be a beautiful butterfly here in the near future. I got that B word fat. Oh, man. What's that from? What's B word fat from? I know I'm referencing something. I don't remember, though. For some reason, I want to say it's Key and Peele, but I don't think it's Key and Peele. And this is just going to be like the last cast where I say, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you should ever imagine. And Obi-Wan Kenobi said it, and I for some reason doubted myself and said, oh, it's probably not Obi-Wan Kenobi who said that. I imagine that's how Juicy sounds. I'm just going to sit in my base and build buildings, because that's what I like to do. It's really fun to build buildings here. And I'm going to get many stonks and invest them into more buildings that make me more stonks, my business portfolio will be unimaginably profitable. Seriously, what is B-word fat from now? Oh my god, a bowl full of butter. That's what they say. What is it for? Somebody has to let me know in the comments, because I'll look it up and I won't be able to find it, because I suck at Googling things. I'll look up, like, B-word fat. You know what? It's probably, now that I think about it, you probably just have to look up B-word fat, and it's there. Oh, man. That song earlier, the ADD song, it was a banger, and it's true, because not much is going on. Let's go ahead and speed this up. I'm kind of just wasting everybody's time. People are going to be like, this was a bad game to cast. And I was over here to the northeast. SACU's rebuilding this base. There's some aggression coming on. It does seem as though with the SCUs, we might be able to see Winston reclaim some of this area that was formerly his. It's surprising Titans weren't able to do it, but now that he has something that can shoot and build, maybe he can manage it. Another Fat Boy on the way. The nuke launcher, almost ready to launch a nuke. We're going to go ahead and just track it for now. We'll zoom out for a little bit. Oh, that was a Billy nuke! Oh, he Billy nuked the edge! Oh my god, that's beautiful! Oh, that's beautiful! Oh, we missed the first Billy nuke. 1 second, I have to... Oh, it's gonna take him a while to rebuild the Billy nuke, isn't it? He only has... Yeah, I mean, he has T3. It shouldn't take that long, but... Apparently it is. The Fat Boy's about to complete. The nuke launcher about to be nuking. Let's see where this goes. Let's see if it lands or if it's just a pitiful inquiry into nuclear hellfire. That was answered with no. Because we already know the rest of the map, it's just Lobos and Titans doing anything. And a Billy nuke that I'm... Oh wait, no, that was an SCU dying. Oh yeah, SCU died over here. Oh, you know what? Actually, some stuff's happening. I want to see this nuke launch though. Okay, there's broadswords over here. They're getting shot down, but they really shut down this expansion. The broadswords paying dividends now for Juicy. He's just able to constantly contain Winston, and now Winston is in the position that Juicy was in not so long ago. Launch your freaking nuke. Launch it. Come on. Okay, you know what? We're gonna zoom out just so we can watch things going on. A large proportion of units on the map now are Juicy's. He's just going around. He's using a gunship up here to the northeast to kill off this expansion. And Winston is just down on economy right now. He's building RAS SCUs, which will help him in the long run, but it's going to take him a while. Where's the commander? Commander's back in base. He's not Billy nuking anymore. He got his one Billy nuke, and that was all he could manage. Although it is something to have in the back pocket, you can sit there like, I have a Billy nuke, and I know how to use it, so don't fuck with me. As, was that Sean Connery? No, that wasn't Sean Connery. I don't know what accent or impression that was. Are you really just not gonna nuke? Are you not gonna luke this notch? Apparently. Okay, fuck it. I'm not getting the pretty picture of the nuke launching. Now that I've looked away, it'll happen immediately. This is a force.
Strategic launch detected.
I told you the second I look away. The second I look away. Also, that's probably the thumbnail right there. Where is he nuking? He's nuking down here. Is there an anti-nuke? Oh, he starts an anti-nuke the second. I guess he's maybe assuming that this is going to be nuked. But no, this area right here, it's going to be nuked. Did he have an anti-nuke loaded? No, he didn't! This could have just been a kill! His anti-nuke wasn't loaded! Oh, Winston. I know why Winston nuked here. He saw the anti-nuke. It's been there for so long. It's loaded, right? It's loaded. You just have to trust that it's loaded. It wasn't a stupid play. There's no way you can tell if it's loaded or not loaded by that situation, but it's so sad to see. Strap bomber somewhere. And the UEF experimental, the Fat Boy coming into range. I have a feeling this is going to meet the same fate as the other. As, of course, it's going to be in a situation where it's getting shot at by a lot of T2 artillery. The pressure coming out from this man is insane, but the defensive firepower is even more so. As we creep into the hour mark now, these players just absolutely, they're absolutely going for it. They don't know what they're going for, but they're going for it. They're both struggling to find any real purchase. This push, these Titans pushing are getting surprisingly far into the base, but there's all the T1 PD, there's the Ravagers, there's the T2 PD. I just don't see this going anywhere. Unless maybe they kill off the anti-nuke, but even then they have to go through so much DPS to get there. And this is just going to end up being a mass dump. Winston, he's trying. Our hearts go out to Winston. F in the chat for all these units he's throwing at Juicy. Juicy has overtaken even the total mass generated now, as he is sitting on 36,000 reclaimed. I think he reclaimed the Fat Boy, which is the most of what he's reclaimed in recent times. His base still has a ton of reclaim, 100,000 reclaim on the map, a ton of it over here on the side of Winston. If he could start getting into that, maybe he could make something happen. Second nuke about to be finished. Is it gonna launch immediately this time? Oh, it's so close to being done. Like, finish. How many more steps on this little orange bar could there possibly be? Oh my god, it's just... Nope, does not immediately launch. SU number rising. Critically over here for Juicy, he lost his SCU Quantum Gateway, so he's just not going to be able to build anymore, and he's just lost that extra eco he had set up there. An unfortunate turn of events for him, and he's discovered T2 land, guys. Oh no. Oh no, this is going to start getting dangerous. It looks like he's had T2 land for a while, but he has so much T2 land. All of these HQs very secure in the fact that if one of these factories dies, the other can definitely continue to produce T2 units. He has the Mongoose around the field. Pillars are a sin, even though he has them. He just doesn't believe in pillars. We're going to go to times 10. I'm sorry, but like this is just... It's starting to get to the point where it can't, even whenever they like do something, it feels like it doesn't matter because both sides are so well entrenched or just have the units to defend at any given time. The air play out from Winston's been pretty good. He's managed to stop any kind of major aggression coming out from Juicy, or major air aggression. He's been able to stop the broadswords. Broadswords have been doing very well for themselves. Of course, also, the broadswords no longer being produced quite as much as the air production was also on that cliff. That was a very good nuke out from Winston, but the question is, could it have been better? Could he have just gone for it and nuked the main base? The world may never know what would have happened in that timeline. Actually, we know what would happen. He would just roll over the game, almost assuredly. The Fat Boy is online, used as a kind of defensive option here to go against the hordes of units being thrown at Winston. Winston's still sitting on the mass generation lead. He's doing very well for himself. Juicy slowly expanding. There was a drop of an SCU up here. Are you kidding me? How disrespectful you gonna get? I guess maybe he was going for attack snipe or something, but that was some disrespectful play. Broadsword's getting shot down over here to the north. Another nuke being launched. Is it gonna land? Where'd he nuke? Oh, that nuke kills nothing. Didn't even need to slow down for that. We're just gonna go to +5. Don't want to miss anything major. As the Fat Boy in the base of Winston really holding out for him. And it seems he's just given up on land forces. He's produced these to keep himself safe. What is the strategy, Mr. Winston? He's now behind economically, which is not something you want to see if you are a fan of the red player this game. What do we have going on? Is Juicy or Winston going to be the first to get to Novax's? I feel whoever discovers Novax's first wins. Is this another edge nuke? Most likely is. Doesn't kill off the artillery, but does kill off a T3 mechs. Don't know if it was worth spending all the mass to build a nuke. But hey, you built it, may as well use it, right? More SUs always coming out of this factory for Winston. He's constantly building nukes. Only 4 vet on this nuke launcher with 3 launches. That's a little bit disappointing for anybody who's used the nuke and gotten 5 vet with 1 launch. You know what I'm saying. That's the overall dream goal every time you launch a nuke, is you want that 5 vet immediately. Although, it's killed off 81,000 mass. Definitely an investment that's probably been worth it. Even despite using 3 nukes. I think that was probably mass efficient. Maybe scraping up on being mass inefficient, though. As this fat boy is just going to sit here and continue to kill any units that stroll in range. Titans rolling across the map now. This firebase a little bit too much for Titans to deal with. Maybe Percivals could deal with it. Although maybe enough Titans getting in, killing off the shields the shield first could deal with this. I mean, they're making a hell of an effort for it. Most of these point defense are not going to get any veterancy, so that means that they're not going to regenerate at all. And that just means that this firebase is going to be easier for the next wave of Titans. This Titan over here fighting a SCU, going to die. And it's just starting to... We have an expansion out over here for Winston using an SCU. I think he knows that he's going to need some AA. The broadswords have really given him grief this game with trying to expand, really hemming him into this main base area. He's trying to keep up economically, but he's so far behind now. Yet again, who will discover Novax's or better standoff technology than just a nuke? First, broadsword's now trying to be used to kill off this fat boy. Fat boy has anti-air, but I don't think it's that great. Winston's built another fat boy. Always going to keep one at home to defend. This fat boy about to be on a 2nd rank of veterancy very soon. If it walks forward and gets the kill on these triads and ravagers, definitely will achieve that. Titans just spread out across the map trying to make things happen. Broadswords being shot at and missed apparently by Sam's. The SCU is very tanky. It's going to take more than just 1 broadsword to kill it off with 2 Sams here. More shields going on. Another wave of broadswords shows up. It seems the shields are the focus here. He gets a shield off. The strat bombers coming in, trying to make something happen. The SCU goes down, but so do the broadswords. The fat boys in the center starting to just work together. He has multiple fat boys. That's a very scary force. A bunch of broadswords now showing up. Needs to get the ASF onto that right now. Otherwise, this fat boy is going to die with no recompense. And that is going to be a very bruised but still alive fat boy. And it's going to come over here. It's going to try and kill off this assault coming out from Juicy. Juicy trying to take over this area for himself. Over here on the east, of Fat Boy managing to kill off this expanding SCU, and these T3 mechs is going to go down as well. Neither side, as I said, has a firm grasp on how they want to approach this game, on how they want to close this out. They're both just throwing things at the wall, throwing shit at the wall and hoping some of it sticks. And it is not sticking very well. This fat boy sitting on 2 ranks of veterancy. The fat boy over here nearly about to get its first rank of veterancy. Definitely will once this mech goes down to its barrage of cannon fire. Oh man, it's taking a while to kill off that mech. This mech is just taking very little damage. Gets its rank of veterancy. Well earned. Fat boy in the center, just trying to kill off things as they come into range. The little riot guns on the side, rarely significant, but able to kill off these Lobos with no problem. And trying to get some kills, maybe onto these 3 mass extractors down here, just try and knock down Juicy's economy a little bit of a peg. That's a lot of tactical missile launchers, and I'm not sure why he's building them. Doesn't necessarily make the most sense in the world to be building them. But he's doing it. As we're reaching an hour and 30 minutes, these players have to be tired of playing the game by now. Both of them over 200 mass a second, Juicy over 300 mass a second. It's feeling like Juicy may have this game. He just needs to find a way to deal that killing blow onto Winston. The game has been quite throwy back and forth. It constantly feels like one person's gonna be able to close it out maybe, and then the other side just shows up with something to stop it. How much mass is on the field now? Oh, we're just getting close to Maver levels of reclaim on the field now. This fat boy up to 4 ranks of veterancy. Won't get the 5th rank with this. That's a lot of broadswords, but that's a lot of HP. 17,000 plus 20,000 plus 120 health a second and 100 health a second on the shield. It's gonna lose the HP very quick. Does the fat boy survive? No, I don't think it does. And that's gonna be unfortunate. 5 fat boy, at least it paid itself off. The economies have now evened up with all of those T3 mexes going down. Juicy now below Winston. Winston still just slowly building up a lot of Ras boys in his base. Oh no, he's starting to build shield boys. Interesting call. Rambo boys, actually, I think is what it is. Is that what this is? Yeah, Rambo. Trying to get something tankier to be used to defend. A bunch of Rambo presets over here fighting for this little area over here. Gonna just go to +1 for a little bit. It does seem like these players are fighting it out on various points of the map. More broadswords coming in to try and shut down these Rambo SCUs and their expansion efforts, but anti-air are gonna be able to deal with that just fine. Although Juicy has been sitting in his base. Have you ever seen a more UEF looking base? Because I haven't. This fat boy over here is slowly getting more and more ranks of veterancy as more units just pile into this eastern side. The Rambo SUs walking in, the hit squad of the expansion of Juicy. And the SCU that was over there, the Ras SCU, just deciding I'm gonna go reclaim this fat boy instead of dealing with this shit, which is valid. Let's go ahead and go to +3 for a little bit. A bunch of broadswords gonna show up, gonna be able to fight off this. Nope, they're gonna come up here and slowly die to a flak or to a Sam, it would seem. It's weird. It's like they're playing pick and ban. Like Winston chose fat boys and ASF. And Juicy chose Mongoose and I guess Titans now. Titans and broadswords. They just constantly change what they're allowed to build and what they're not allowed to build. Can't build everything. That's too bougie. Okay, we're really gonna speed it up now. These players are obviously just struggling. It really is a knife fight in a phone booth between toddlers. It's 2 toddlers with machine guns that are just struggling to pull the trigger, but every once in a while they do, and they destroy the other toddlers' toys. As we slowly... Whoa! Ah! Ah! Guys, there's been a development! A Novax has been built. Juicy has almost assuredly sealed the deal this game. He just has to build more. Build more than 1 Novax. Keep building Novaxes. You're gonna win this if you build them. He's building another Novax. Juicy is coming out with a Juicy plays. We have... Is this a Maver? Are you gonna build a Maver? I mean, you have the economy theoretically. Or a Duke. Duke would actually be a good call. Multiple Dukes could be very good. The Novax is coming in! Oh, is it gonna be enough? I mean, right now it's gonna do jack dit. It's gonna do jack shit. It's gonna do the square root of dick and diddly. Because there's enough shielding here and there's enough SUs. They're gonna build more shields, we know it. But that's when you start looking at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's queuing up Novaxes. He's gonna get Juicy has found the keys to the kingdom. He has found the path to victory. It's not a narrow one. It's very easy. It's like the highway to heaven. And there's a staircase to hell right now, which is a very difficult way to win the game that theoretically is possible, but just isn't going to work, and that is spamming Fat Boys and Titans, which both players have shown that they want to do. Well, except for Juicy. He doesn't like Fat Boys. He doesn't like the B word, Fat Boys. It's not Key and Peele, is it? Is it Key and Peele? Who does it? Is it Patton Oswalt? Oh my god, it's gonna freaking kill me. It's a comedian. It's a stand-up comedian. I know that. It's not Key and Peele. My money is now on Patton Oswalt. If you haven't seen that bit, by the way, it is hilarious. Alright. Juicy. He's now moved the Novax over here, trying to get some damage done with it. Maybe could focus down the Fat Boy. Would take a little while, but you could definitely kill it off. Down here to the west, Winston setting up his own base, but he's just not building nearly enough artillery to fight Juicy. Juicy has built another Novax, and another one comes online. It's not as good as another one bites the dust. And another one, and another one, and another one. And that's a Duke. Both players discovering standoff technology. Now it's anybody's game. If he builds multiple Dukes and can outshield the Novaxes for long enough, maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for Juicy to lose this game. But right now, my money is on Juicy. He has got the Novaxes. He's gonna be building Novaxes very quickly. He has a very strong economy. As long as he's... What is this Mastall? This better be all into the Novax. How much does each of these use? 20? Okay, this Mastall is mostly Novax, I feel. Although if he has stuff going into a significant amount of other things. Holy cannoli, Batman. Jankies, Batman. Alright, I'm gonna go to ×5 speed and just watch the Novaxes for a little bit. Because on the ground, it's just constant fights between SCU's building structures at this point, and this Fat Boy, which has been forgotten, but has been very effective while being forgotten. Third Novax online. We see 3. This firebase completely destroyed by Novaxes. As I said, the keys to the kingdom are here. He's going to use the double Novax to slowly kill off. Where is this nuke going? This nuke is going to kill off this artillery firebase. He's saying, no, you don't get to do that to me, Juicy. I'm done with it. The Fat Boy gonna die to the Novaxes. And Juicy is making some juicy plays now. He's up to 3 Novaxes, a 4th about to finish up. The Duke has finished up. But I feel like there might just be enough shields. 12 shields, 12 T3 shields, 4 T2. Can just tell the T2 shields to start going T3 right now. Although, the Novaxes are not very well shielded. Novaxes could be focused down. If Winston starts killing off Novaxes, this will be horrid for Juicy. And he's already working on a second Duke. He's got the adjacency to make it fire faster. Oh, this one's completely unshielded. It's about to finish. Oh! Is he going to notice in time? When will he notice that oh, he's assisting the shields. He's assisting the shields. Ooh. Or the Kindles are just doing it automatically by themselves, but I imagine that's an order. Yeah, that's an order. He's assisting the shields. He's going to hold up his defenses by assisting those instead of by building new ones, which may be good enough, but with two Dukes, it might be enough. I don't know how much damage the Duke does, but I can't imagine it's small. It would be 11,000 damage. Shields have 17,000 HP, so it's theoretically possible to just assist and hold onto those shields. It's when you get into the range where they can overkill the shield's HP by a little bit is when you're a bit scared. Where are the Novaxes? Where are all of them? They seem to be over here on the eastern flank, just cleaning up all of this. Although, is that the right call here? Is this Titan underwater? No, it's just on the cliff and looks like it might be. The SCU and the expansion over here almost assuredly gonna die. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit more. The artillery fire coming in. These players, they're now playing toss with artillery and Novaxes. I don't think the artillery fire is going to break through at the given moment. But the second that second T2 or that second T4, T3 artillery comes online, damn it! I can't get the right tech. Could be very dangerous. Where is the 4th Novax's satellite? Is it? Why isn't it launching? Why is the satellite? Okay, now it's launching. Okay. Well, that's the 4th satellite online. The satellite's now coming over. They're going to target the air grid first, which is a strong play. Target the power. Although I don't think you can kill enough power to really hurt him. Even if you kill off all the power in the air grid. Hell, you might be able to kill off all the P-gens, and he might just have enough with the RAS SCUs. 12 of them. That's a lot when each... Oh, it's only 400. Oh, no, it's 1,000 mass a second. Although when they're building and with all the shielding... Yeah, no. He's going to want to keep the P-gens around the Dukes alive. Although if the Duke P-gens go down, so do the Dukes. So that goes without saying. 4 Novaxes is a threat to be reckoned with. Will a 5th be queued up? A 5th now on the way. I know what the thumbnail will be. Alright, there we go. Here we go. That's going to be our first half of the thumbnail. This is going to be our second half of the thumbnail. And we are going to have a very beautiful thumbnail, everybody. As I'm going to just speed it up a little bit, because let's face it, the late game siege, the late game standoff technology, it's not fun to watch. It really isn't. But it is something that we're going to watch. That next Novax, it's building much slower than the others. He's having to invest so much more into shielding right now. He's trying to just make sure his shields don't fall and his opponents do. He managed to kill off one of the P-gens. He's killed off a couple of shields. He's making progress with the Novaxes. You can outshield a large number of Novaxes. It is possible. It's just incredibly difficult. And you need to assist the shields, and hell, shield micro even helps. Although I don't expect to see shield micro at this stage, at this level of play. A 5th Novax will eventually finish, and that will become even harder. He's struggling with the 4 that are online now. Although his second Duke is going to finish up very soon, and that means that Novax is maybe under threat of just dying straight up to the Duke. Where is the SMD? Wait, where is the SMD? He has one up here, so I guess I can just check. Where's this? Wait, what happened to his first SMD? There's one over here. He had an SMD like in this area. Did he reclaim an SMD? Strange. Man, that is a base. That's a base. I should change my voice there in the editing to be like just amp up the bass on it. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. All right, Juicy. He's holding out against the onslaught, but now there are 2 Dukes on the field, and you see those artillery shells going in. We see shields going offline every second. It's getting kind of dangerous. Oh my! Ooh, those clink hammers, which have been such a nuisance for Winston, now going down. Actually, just killing off all the clink hammers and then sending in this massive T3 force may be a strategy. Maybe just kill off the land defenses. Oh, an anti-nuke could go down. That one's loaded. This one's loaded as well. I think you want to try and keep both of them alive, though. The Dukes proving more effective than the Novaxes. The Novaxes have left. They're going over here. They're trying to kill off economy. But the base of Juicy is starting to fall. And I think, despite me saying Juicy had it with the Novaxes, I think the Dukes were the answer. And he's building his own Novax now. to add more consistent DPS. Oh no, Juicy! You have to outshield this, and you have to get more Novaxes, and you have to fight for the main base. You have to fight the main base. You have to try and get rid of these Dukes. Oh no, the shields are holding, but only. With a Novax in play, this may be too difficult to hold with just assisting shields. Assisting that shield is working very well for him at the moment, but I don't know how long it'll last. He's up to 5 Novaxes. He has to use them aggressively on the main base. Otherwise, there's just no point. Novax is over here to the west, still trying to make something happen. They're going to be able to kill off this firebase almost assuredly. Sure, it's Rambo comms, and sure they're spamming shields, but this just dies to 5 Novaxes. The artillery still raining in onto the base of Juicy. Maybe could even focus down this SMD. If he could take out both of the SMDs, he could just nuke it. He does have, I'm sure, multiple nukes stored up. 5 nukes stored up. Wait, he could just nuke. He could just chain nuke and win the game. Oh my, Winston. If Winston loses this game somehow, he has nobody to blame but himself. I mean, that's true in every 1v1, but he's had so many situations now where it's like, oh yeah, you just press a button, you win. He had the first nuke, which if he just sent it to the main base, he wins. He now has 5 nukes loaded up, and if he launches all of them, he wins. This has been cleaned up. Is it finally gonna proc him to actually just send all of your freaking satellites to the other side of the map? Is one of the satellites not launched again? No, a satellite's died. Oh no, with the Novax added in, the siege is becoming just unable to be dealt with. He doesn't have enough build power to assist shields. The Novax is, oh, they're going unshielded for a few seconds at a time, but that's all it takes. It's all it takes. If the shields go down for the wrong time, at the wrong time, for the wrong seconds, the wrong, it's just gonna be death incarnate for these Novaxes, and that's gonna be the end of it. He has all of these Titan forces now pushing across the map too. He's not afraid. He senses victory, and he's taking it. And Juicy may have thrown in the 11th hour and the 9th inning. Oh my lord, he's losing Novaxes so quickly, and we're gonna speed it up because I don't think Juicy will hold out. I think this is the end for you, my friend. He's not able to hold on to the Novaxes. There's 2 left, a 3rd being rebuilt, but the base is falling apart. We're not gonna speed it up all the way. We're gonna let this slow death happen for us. Maybe not in real time, like +3 sounds good. As his base capitulates, so does he. The Titans and... we're gonna keep this on. The Titans and Percivals are up to the northeast of his base. They're eventually probably gonna swoop down, and this area is not quite as defended as that northern assault area. The artillery shells are just coming in, and each impact, the screen shakes. The pain is doled out in droves. And Juicy is going to be defeated. I'd like to thank all of you beautiful people for watching. Please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, joining the Discord, Patreon, or channel membership program. All of those help out the channel so much. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave you with this picture of this base as it gets assaulted. You all are beautiful. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you to the patrons again. This is Willow, signing off.
never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love